Good morning, you guys. I just wanted to share with you my simple holiday morning routine, which, if I'm being honest, looks a lot like my everyday routine. But you know, we're just gonna place the word holiday before that so that it fits into this is Essmas. Pretty much, that's what we're doing right now. But just to start off, I want to just share why I feel so strongly about having a morning routine. And it's not something I was keen on beforehand. It's not something I pursued. But ever since I started to do a little bit more research on living a more wholesome, holistic kind of life, it seemed like morning routines, and specifically like the first 30 minutes of your day, it's so important, and it ultimately shapes the rest of your day. So then I thought, you know what, if all these people, all these super intelligent people have done this research and they seem to be coming up with little tips and tricks on how to make your morning routine a little bit more grounded and focused, then who am I to not take those tips and just put them into my routine and make it work with my lifestyle? And that's exactly what I did. Another thing is I found that, especially with this season, like this is Essmas, I found that given that I was really busy, I found myself slipping a little and not sticking to my routine. But I was so wisely reminded that if I don't take time to give myself, if I do not grant myself 20 minutes, what business do I have making sure that I put other people's agendas or other things in front of my own time and my own special time? Like, I'm actually genuinely doing things that will replenish my mind and my body and my soul. So there's no business. I have no business not dedicating time to myself. So I'm just going to take you through what my morning routine looks like. So the first thing I do when I wake up is I check the time. I just want to know how early or how late it is and what kind of time frame I've got, because sometimes, even though I do want to make sure I dedicate those 20 minutes to myself, sometimes I don't have the time. Like, if I have a meeting, I can't just be like, sorry, I was late, I was reading my book. So I have to make sure I check the time. Now, ideally, I would have loved to have a smart clock. That way I don't reach for my phone. But for now, I don't have that option. So I reach for my phone and I look at the time. But I do not check my messages or emails or social media. I just look at the time. I even try not to look at the notifications that come. And I'm also very good at making sure that, in fact, it's already scheduled, but I'm very good at making sure that from 9:30 to 7 a.m. my phone is on do not disturb, which means messages don't alert me and there's no bright lights or anything. And I usually wake up between 5:30 and 6:30 because Nyla wakes up at about between 7:30 and 8:30. So I need to just make sure I have my time, and if I can wake up a little bit earlier, then the better. Okay, then the next thing I do is that I go into my corner and I meditate. And my corner is this space. I really like this space, and it just makes me feel very warm and safe and comfortable. And I sit down, I get comfortable, and I meditate. And I usually take about 10 minutes to do so. I don't time myself, I don't have an alarm or anything. I just know that on average it takes 10 minutes because I look at the time and then I look at the time after when I'm done. And I have found meditation a very useful tool when it comes to making sure that my thoughts are not all over the place, and to sort of just bring everything back to here, to the core. And I am a big advocate for meditation. Not that I've been doing it for so long and I'm not an expert, I still have a lot to learn. If I'm dealing with something, I find that I'm able to take a step back before reacting and really think about how I want to deal with that situation. It's changed. It's really changed who I am, and it's changed my life. And I feel better, and I feel like I'm more aligned with my values and my true intentions for the day. And then I finish off that meditation session with a prayer, and that's my way of setting my intentions for the day. So if there was, for instance, a big meeting I had, or if there was a task that I was dreading to do, or deadlines that were making me nervous or anxious, or a conversation that I was like, oh my goodness, like, it's so difficult to have this conversation, that's my time to really draw from my values and sort of set my intentions for the day and for those tasks or difficult things that I have to do. Or if there's something great, then that's also a time to just be like, give thanks and stuff. Now the next thing on my list is that I will go and make myself a cup of tea. Green tea, obviously. And these days, there's this, the green tea infused with jasmine and, is it jasmine even? Jasmine and passion, I want to say. It smells so delicious. It's so good. And it has like this fruity punch to it. And I just add some honey and some lemon. Or I could serve myself a mug of porridge. And I love the one from Meru, which is like a little sour. Oof. It's so good. And it's so great because I'm still breastfeeding, so I need to make sure my milk supply is where it needs to be. So I'll either have tea or porridge, but later in the morning section I will switch up, and whichever one I didn't have is what I'll have later. The next thing in my morning routine is writing in my gratitude journal. I don't do this consistently. I really should, but this is one of those that sometimes I'm like, I'm too busy, I have to rush, let's move on real quick. But I'm trying to make it an everyday thing. But I just take some time and I list the things that I am grateful for, specifically from the day before. Now, ideally, I'd have liked to do this every evening, but my evenings are spent editing videos and making sure that they're up and scheduled for the next day, and trying to feed Nyla and making sure that she has her meals and then putting her to sleep. And it's cumbersome at night. I can't always rely on that, but the morning I can do it. So I reflect back on the day before and I list the things that I'm grateful for. And then after I'm done with the gratitude list, I will enjoy my cup of tea while reading my book. Now I'm currently reading, this here book, and it's Robert Ludlum, The Cry of the Halidon. And I've not gone too far with it. This is also another step that I may skip in my morning routine depending on how busy I am. So I'm embarrassed to say that I'm only on page 46, but it's a lot for a working mom. Just, okay, 46 isn't too bad out of 430. Another book that I really loved reading and going through is Robin Sharma's Life Lessons from the Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. And I love it because it's really short chapters that are easy to digest. And I actually think I will make it a rule to always find a book or have a book that has short, easy messages that I can just take in without having to sit and read for like 20 minutes to really digest. Something short and sweet and compact. And one of the things that he talks about is, starting your day well. Listen to this. He says, I call the first 30 minutes after you wake up the platinum 30, since they are truly the most valuable moments of your day and have a profound influence on the quality of every minute that follows. See what I mean? So once I'm done with the books, which I usually grant myself about 10 minutes, the next thing I will do is I will go and make my bed. And I find this to be a very simple task, but something that really boosts my morale, one, and two, makes my space a lot more inviting. I hate getting into a bed that's unmade. I just feel like it's dirty, even though making the bed doesn't make it clean, but it just feels mucky. And I just generally feel like it's a better, more lovely and conducive space for my mind to be in the right space, really. And then I follow it up with my very simple morning skincare routine, which is usually just using some micellar water on a cotton pad, and then I follow that up with some moisturizer, and specifically one that has SPF in it, because I'm trying to be better with that and making sure that I incorporate sunscreen in my skincare routine. Again, in the morning, I'm just aware that my morning routine could be disrupted at any point if Nyla wakes up, or if I have a deadline to meet, and usually 8 a.m. I have so much that I need to have done by then. So I'm trying to make the steps as quick as possible. And then after this, I will most likely continue with some of my tasks, and that could be like making Nyla her breakfast, or answering emails, scheduling a video, editing a video, scheduling articles and writing articles and stuff. So I'll then get into business. And then at that point, I'll just mix it up with some breakfast. And that could either be sweet potato or like granola kind of muesli cereal, or fruits, or bread. Actually, I could just have toasted bread. So yeah, that's what my morning routine looks like. I know it says holiday morning routine, but to be honest, a lot of this happens whether it's holiday or not. You know what, maybe one day when Nyla is a little bit older and I don't have the pressure of, oh my goodness, she could wake up at any moment, then I'll be able to grant myself a more elaborate routine. Just add like another 10 minutes so that it's like a 13-minute process. Right now it's 20. That would be the life. But for now, it works for me, and I find that it allows me to put things into perspective. Sometimes I feel like I'm not moving as fast as I'd like to, or like my to-do list is super long and I only tackle like 5 things out of 20. And so the next day I could carry that kind of anxiety forward. But having this moment, having the 20 minutes allows me to be still, to still my mind, to focus. So yeah, I hope you found this video helpful and that you got some tips. I don't know. If you have something that you do that is different from what I've shared, or you have another thing that you found that has really helped you, please leave it in the comment section. I just love to know what you guys are doing. And if you have a morning routine in place. But yeah, thank you for watching. Have a great weekend, and I will see you 8 a.m. Monday.